Right, race 3. Quite a large field. Tim Gross, the man responsible for power 10, if he's running. Tim Gross. Is that Tim Gross there? 175 is Tim Gross, man responsible for power 10.
Hello everybody, hope you're doing okay. Welcome again to Wimbledon Park. Now I had a race here last Wednesday, which was pretty awful. It was very hot. Today it's been wet and windy, but it's finally stopped raining. It's a mile tonight, so hoping to go a bit better. I didn't actually even do a video of last week's one, the 5,000. I might insert a bit of footage into it, so see if we can go a bit better tonight. I'm off at 7 o'clock, it's about 40 minutes time. I'm in a race that's probably going to be paced about 80 a lap, so see if I can get a 550 under a split at 5 minutes. I think they're doing a time for that as well, so somewhere around about 520 for the mile would be good. Realistically, I think anything under 530 would probably be okay. So we'll see how we go and check in later. So I left my camera at the 50-meter point there, and there's me getting dressed, walking back to the start, and then decided I'd do a stride around the track. So in a minute I'm going to turn around and then you're going to see me doing a stride. It's an idea I had from Jamie at my club to do like a longer stride, so more like a 200-meter one, sort of like race pace or just a bit under. I did about 150 in the end. So here we are lining up the start. Thanks to Mark Hookway for the footage. And the gun goes off, and here I am. I've got a bit of a slow start. Actually, got a bit boxed in earlier on, so I think I put out a hand there just to steady myself. So apologise if I bumped into anybody. And then we'll cut into my footage from the GoPro here. And it all come past in a fast stream. I've got a bit of a slow motion there. And then we go back to the footage from Mark for the first lap. It was still dry at this point. It will rain in a minute. So the pacemaker was wearing Nike Invincibles, doing about 78 laps. So it just goes to show that the shoes aren't really all important. Of course, I was in Dragonflies. And also, so was Gina Galbraith, who was an ex-work colleague of mine. We had a plan to see if we can get under 5 minutes, and I think in the end we just both missed it, but we'll see how it pans out. So that tent there, they actually had a 1500-meter split, and they actually had a running clock there, so it was quite handy to see a split. So you almost got like a split every 400 and every 300 as well. So here we are coming down the home straight. Looks like it's starting to now rain. You can see a bit of raindrops on the camera there. Pacemaker was going to do just over 2 laps in the end, so I'm sort of biding my time there at the moment. I'll get my first lap split there, 80 seconds for the 400 meters plus the 9.344 meters exactly extra to the first lap. And I'll cut back again to my GoPro as the leaders come around. So where am I now? I'm about 10th place there at the moment, aren't I? So I've been quite patient in this race. There's the slow motion there at 1/5 speed. Back to the footage.
Hopefully it's not for too long.
I can see Gina now 2 places up ahead, so I was thinking, oh, I need to catch up with her really. But not feeling too bad at this point. I tried to start sort of fairly within myself. Obviously in the mile race, there's no time to really rest on your laurels. But you can see now the rain is coming down quite heavily. I think that may have affected the time slightly. I said to Gina after the race, maybe a second, but there wasn't really much wind to speak of really, so it was just more a bit annoying. I don't think it really affected us too much. I think it would have been a problem had we sort of started the race like that, because it's a bit miserable on the line getting completely soaked, but once you're into it, you're off, aren't you? So the pacemaker is, well, he's a bit keener, isn't he? He's not really actually anyone right behind him, but clearly a class runner. If you can run a sub 240 split in the Nike Invincibles, bouncing off the track like that. In fact, what's he going to do? 2:37 there for 2 laps. It's a bit more than 2 laps, isn't it? I'm coming through it in 2:41. So yeah, it's a pretty even split so far. I think I did effectively a 78 plus 2 seconds for an 80 and then an 81. So not too bad. Going to cut through to the GoPro now. Now you can see the rain is now quite heavily coming down. I'm starting to make a bit of progress further forward. There's me running alongside Gina now. Roy Reader there at the back, who I've had many battles with over the years. And here's my 1/5 speed. Form's looking too bad at this speed, I don't think. There's the pacemaker just getting back in the covers. So this is the testing third lap of the race, and you see now I'm up to, what am I, the top 4 have got away, 5th, about a tie there for 6th place, aren't they? About to overtake 5th. 5th was the place I actually ended up with in the end, so I got here with about 600 to go, and I got as further forward as I thought I would do. At this point I thought that the 4 in front were coming back, and I fancied my chances of having a really good final lap and storming all past them like days of old, but it wasn't quite to be. But anyway, must have these dreams in your head. Keeps your motivation going forwards rather than backwards. And it certainly helped this time that I was actually running these laps fairly even pace. And that rain now is really sheeting down, isn't it? That really is quite torrential. You can see the people waiting for the next race. I feel more sorry for them, actually. So here we come to the bell, and my time at the bell is 4:03 and 82 laps, so doing pretty well. Gina's just behind me now by a second or two. And if we cut through to my GoPro any moment now, you can see how wet it is. The camera's got rather wet, so I didn't bother to do a slow motion here. But yeah, looks like I'm going reasonably well there. And the field's now quite sprung out. Roy's at the back there, bringing up the rear. And here we go, 300 to go. This is the point where I was thinking, I'm not actually that far behind the top 4, are they? I mean, in days of old, I've run a sub 60 last lap in the 1500. At the moment, it's more like an 80. But yeah, if I'd done that, I would have stormed past them. But that was 25 years ago. The guy in second place was the eventual winner there, so he's running a very crafty race. But yeah, I'm definitely in shot there, aren't I? And Gina's about 2 seconds behind now, so I'm now thinking that will I be able to get a 5-minute split at the 1500. So I'm almost like thinking there's a race within a race. As it turned out, when I went through the line I saw about 5:1, but my official time I got was 5:02.18. And then the last straight seemed a long way. I think I'd almost pushed for that 300 metre line, and yeah, it seemed like I was drifting out into lane 2 there. Determined not to let anyone go by. I thought Gina might be coming from my tails, but she's a very good finisher normally. But you can see I think she closed a bit down the home straight, but I had just enough to hold her off. And there we are, stopping my Garmin. I only wore one today, left the other one inside. Looks like Gina's been working hard as well. And if you see here, I put my head down for quite a long time before I actually got up again.
So race done in the pouring rain. It sort of started to rain on the last lap. It wasn't too bad actually. My best track race this year. I just did about 80th second a lap, and I think I came in through like 1500 split about 5:01, about 5:25 to finish. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. I sort of set off fairly within myself. Got a bit of fighting for position actually early on, and then I just worked my way through. I thought on the last lap I might have to catch them, but like days of old, but the old legs weren't quite up there. So yeah, all in all, take that one and move on to the next. We've got the infamous Mark doing the videos with a bit better of a camera than me. This little thing. I thought it was a bit rude to go around with the GoPro in a mile race, didn't it? Look a bit of a twat.
So here I am with Gina. We were both hoping to break 5 minutes in 1500, and we'll have to have another go another day. So I think we were 5:01 and 5:02, weren't we? But, yeah, we were blaming the rain. It started to rain as we came down the home straight, but any excuse. So just heading home now. There was a 4-minute mile done in the last race. In fact, there was about 4 or 5 runners that did it. So amazing, a little low-key event like this. There's so many good runners. Anyway, I was pleased with my own times. In the mile I did 5:25.39, and my 1500 metre split was 5:02.18. Now, it doesn't seem overly impressive, but that was my best times for 5 years since 2016. So definitely something to take positive from. And I think it probably shows that my 1500 mile is probably my still best event, actually, despite the fact I'm sort of more training for 5k and higher these days. We've got a bit of speed in the legs. My splits were about sort of even, sort of 80, 81s. I've got a 1500 on Sunday, so see if I can crack the 5-minute barrier. And I fancy doing an 800 now, actually. There's still a bit of time left in the season. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting, and like and subscribe and all that, and look forward to seeing the next one then. Bye. Hold on. Hi, Terry.
Right, Terry.
Hold on.